Tim, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to hear about your new company, but first I am very interested to get your take on this Google lawsuit because not only did you work there, but you also competed against Google and perhaps had a sense of what kind of market power Google could exert when you were competing against them. What's your take on this DOJ and Attorneys General action?
You know, Julia, I'll probably give you an answer most people aren't going to give about this, but I read the DOJ filing end to end. And, you know, I was at Google when we were 13 out of 13 search engines. And the first building outside of Mountain View was my apartment in New York City on 86 in Columbus. So, you know, when I read that document, the first 10 years of it, I look at a company that basically had almost perfect execution on one side, and on the other side was competing against some of the largest companies in the world. And some of those companies probably didn't make all the right decisions in terms of the focus. And there's one line in that document that I think most business people should pay attention to, and it's the focus on user quality and making user quality part of the business model, which is really what separated Google both in search and advertising and other businesses. Google built a de facto enhancement for consumers right into the core business model. So I look at the beginning of Google as that. You know, the second half of that document, I was out of Google and working at AOL, and we sold to Verizon. And so I was on the outside of Google during that time period. But, you know, my summary is Google is an incredible asset for the United States. Google did an amazing job, you know, coming from nothing to being the world leader and what they do. The government's always playing catch up with technology. So I think this is another example of the government trying to catch up. I won't comment on what the right thing to do with Google is. That's up to the government and Google. But I would say there's a lot of business lessons in there with a lot of companies that could have changed kind of their business models to adapt like Google did. And I think it's really, no one else is going to say this, but I think it's a testament to a lot of perfect execution on Google's part, and have a lot of respect for the business they've built and have continued to build overall.
So you think it's perfect execution and not anti-competitive and exclusionary market practices, which is what that DOJ complaint alleges. But I have to say, Tim, your companies competed, both Oath and AOL, often unsuccessfully to compete with that behemoth of Google.
Yeah, well, I think I'll leave it up to your interpretation. I think at AOL we did an amazing job of doubling the value of the company and taking something that was one of the worst mergers in history and turning it around in the face of Google and all the other competition. But now I would just say this, Julia, that, you know, my job is to grow companies, and the company I'm running right now, DTX, which we'll talk about, you know, we're really pioneering the next generation of consumer access and direct to consumer. So, you know, I don't look at anything else than a free market playing field. And, you know, I can't rely on the government, you know, to come save me. I have to save ourselves. And I think the work we did at AOL did that, and we proved it with the outcome at AOL. And what I'm doing now is, you know, we launched our company on CNBC a year and a half ago, and it was really around 3 words: direct to consumer. And DTX is direct to everything. So, you know, I'm here today to talk about the launch of Flowcode TV and really the COVID comeback economy with DTC. But, you know, I think Google's an incredible company, and they're probably going to have incredible challenges with the government. But it's not because I don't think they were doing evil things. I think they had really good execution, and they ended up in a position where they're able to do deals that everybody wants to win in business, and they've done a great job winning.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.